Welcome to YOUCANIC. Here we're replacing the battery on a Honda. This is the Honda Ridgeline 2006, but this video also applies to other Honda models as well. For example, like the Honda Pilot. Let's get started. What you need is a terminal cleaner. You can use sandpaper if you don't have one of these tools, and then a 10mm wrench. Even though for this I'm going to use a deep 10mm socket with an extension, it just goes a lot faster. The wrench also will work, it just takes a little bit longer time. Here we have two nuts that needs to get loosened up as well, in addition to the terminals. So the first thing is, once you park the vehicle, open the hood, then you'll come here and first we're going to disconnect the negative terminal. The negative has a minus sign on the battery, and then here we have the nut. We just need to loosen that up, we don't need to take that off. Now if you're using a long wrench like I am in this case, make sure you don't create a short between the wrench or the ratchet and the positive, then you're gonna have sparks everywhere. Then you loosen that up and remove it. So once you disconnect the negative, then we go over here and we loosen up the positive nut. We don't need to remove it, just twist it and disconnect it. Remember, you don't need to remove the nut. Over here now we need to remove this top bracket, and it's got two nuts, one there, one there, and these rods go all the way down and they're like a J hook, and they hook up right on the edge there. So it is good to spray some penetrating oil on these rods before 15-20 minutes before you start work, because if they're corroded, they're just going to be a little bit of a pain for them to come off. And so we already had done that, and so this is going a lot smoother. Okay, so once that's loose, you don't need to remove that nut completely. You just unhook them on the side, you can see there. And be careful again here, you don't want to create a short between these two posts. But you can see that hook right there, that's what goes on the side, and it comes towards the front, while the front one points toward the back. Alright, so we're going to put this off to the side. Use both hands to lift up the old battery. You might need to get help because this is pretty heavy. Clean any dirt here and just inspect. You can see where the hook for the back goes, and of course we have one on this side as well, but you can see where that goes. It just goes like so. So that's where the hook goes. We're gonna have to reinstall that, but it's easier to see now with the battery off. We'll keep this negative cable out of the way as much as we can. Take the new battery. Keep the cables out of the way. Take the new battery and place it down. Now, you do want to make sure that you are installing a battery that meets the cold cranking amps of your vehicle, in this case 650, and also the size, so it fits the same way, so the battery doesn't can get fast, and otherwise if it's not the same size, and the battery might get loose and when you're driving. But we're gonna reconnect the bracket on top, and after that we're gonna reconnect the terminals. Now as you connect this, be careful to not short the positives with your bracket. Gonna run that underneath. On the pipe as well. Just holding this up so that the hook doesn't come off at the bottom, but now I'm just gonna tighten that nut right there. I'm just holding, in this case I'm holding the hook at the bottom, but you don't need to necessarily. That's tight, and you do want to alternate between these two. You don't want to just tighten one side way more than the other, and also you don't need to be extremely tight on these nuts, otherwise you can crack this battery housing. just hand tight. It's going pretty uniform, and then as it gets tight and as it secures the battery, you can feel it start getting a little bit more resistance. Now that we're done with the battery bracket, what we're going to do is we're going to connect the battery. And before we do that though, we need to clean these terminals. If you're installing a battery, your posts will be clean. So we're going to clean them, run the brush just in case. And then what's the most important part is you want to clean these clamps. Take the other end of your battery terminal cleaner, remove that cap. If you don't have one of these, you can just simply use sandpaper to clean the insides here. So make sure that's perfectly clean, and we're going to do the same thing here for the negative. Okay, so now we're gonna connect this battery. So once you clean these terminals, what you want to do is you want to double check that the red is here. Here it says it has a plus, and you connect that and tighten the clamp. And then also your negative, your black cable that goes to the frame. Make sure you got a negative right there. Reconnect this last and tighten the nut. Then you will take the positive terminal, the one with the red cover, connect it to the positive. Make sure that it says plus on top. And then the negative, and then tighten that nut right there. Test both terminals, make sure they're not loose, they don't move, and put the cover for the positive back on, and that's it. Thank you for watching.